I made this TV console and I need to show you how I did it. I got all the parts needed from the hardware store and you can also get them online. As you can see, I needed to go through the manual so that I'm sure I knew what I was doing because sometimes you just have to. You can't always be smart. And it's better you go through it once and for all than, getting to the end of the project and seeing that you still need to come back again. So to do this kind of, to get this kind of results at the end of the day, you need to make your measurements be as precise as possible. And you also need some basic tools. Number one is the cordless drill, like the type I'm using to fix the shelf. As well, you need knives to cut when necessary. You need few changeable bits. You'd as well need a circular saw. If you can't get a circular saw, you can manage a jigsaw if you can cut straight. You'd need a router, a palm router. You'll see me using it at some point in the video. This is just to make straight cuts with a fence or to do the edge, the edge rounding or something of such. Just like this, the one I'm using rather, the one I'm using currently in the video is the corded drill. This uses electricity. You'd need that to drill into the wall, like you're drilling the concrete wall. And you can see me using a torque wrench. Excuse me. You can see me using a wrench there to screw that. You can use anything that works for you. You can use a spanner or whatever thing you have. As well, you need to use your spirit level just to be sure that what you're doing is straight, at least from that angle first. What I'm doing at this point is I've hung, what is it called, the shelf on one side to the first one, and to get the accurate measurement I needed to do it that way. And I put my spirit level on it. Once it is straight, then I just mark it out, and that is my boss checking out the precision if everything is right. And just in case you're wondering why it's not straight, is the camera angle. So everything at that point in the video was all right. Once I was done with that, I needed to go outside to do the dusty part where I'll be cutting the board and doing the routing work or the routing works. To start that, I needed to make a fence around where I needed to cut in the board, and I'm just using off cut woods to make that fence. You can use anything that works. You can as well repeat this process. And I'm drilling down a pilot hole where the router is going to start work from. Just find the right depth. In case you're wondering what happened, I forgot to start the camera. And now I would have to meet you halfway. Yes. So I went around it again with the router once more, just to make sure everything looks alright. So once I was done, I took out all the fence, cleaned up the rest of the hot glue that we used, and I rounded the edges using a round router bit. Oh, I forgot to show that, but that's alright. Once I was done with the inside, I had to go around the edges too, the outer edges. Yeah, I did a bit of rounding to the edges just to make it look nice at the end of the day. This is a really fun part because at this point I was already seeing the beauty of the project, and as usual, I would always clean up after each step. So at the end of the project, it tells me to clean up faster. Once I was done with that, I brought out my 1x2 planks. I think, yeah, should be about 1x2 to make a frame, which this bigger board, the MDF, will be sitting on the wall. So all I needed to do is just to mark where I need to cut on the 1x2 planks, and I went the easier way. I used my circular saw to cut those parts and join them using few angle brackets. At the end of the day, I just took it back inside, placed it on the wall, screwed it in, and you will see all of the steps as you go forward in the video. So once I was done with that and everything looked right, I checked the level with my spirit level, and boom, here comes the next stage. I started preparing the wall to install the TV hanger. I planned not to put the TV hanger directly on the MDF board because I do not trust the MDF to be able to hold on a heavy load after I might have left the project, because I don't want anybody calling me back that their TV has just broken because it wouldn't be funny. So yeah, I installed the TV hanger straight on the wall itself, and I checked with my spirit level to make sure everything is well aligned. And you could see myself. I mean, I could see myself clapping the F for myself. Oh, look at us! Look at us! Look at that! Look at that! Yeah, that is the only way to go. So yeah, I removed the board and fixed the TV hanger permanently this time around. The first one you saw was just to make sure it will look alright. So after that, I fixed it properly using my tools. And yeah, I'm putting the rest of the TV hangers together to be ready for the next stage. And to be candid, I really love this TV hanger. It looks so stylish because, yeah, it looks really, really beautiful. And I'm sure you could tell as well looking at it from this video. I have to check one more time just to make sure it's perfect in it. Yeah, that's the only way to go. So yeah, at the end of that, I started by fixing the pre-cut acoustic boards. I'd already measured the heights and sizes that I needed, just to make sure I don't waste too much time. And yeah, I'm using a glue with the gun. I'm sure you know this if you've been doing this project. I mean, if you've watched this project up until this point, it means you know what you are doing. So after doing that, I put few screws just to hold it in to allow the bond some time to cure. The next tricky part after this is making sure that the socket, that you make a space for the socket. So yeah, I was trying to measure where to cut and how to get the socket out. But unfortunately, I did that behind the camera. Uh, I'm sure you'll figure it out if you'll be doing this project. It's not a very difficult thing to do. All you just have to do is to, yeah, just the way you've seen, is to put a smaller board just where you need it and count how many groups you have to both sides. Haha. All work without play makes daddy a dull guy. And that's my little boss coming to check on me. On the next part, I had to use a special tool. It is called refuel before you fall. Really needed it. I was really dehydrated at that time. So make sure you have a drink when you're doing this as well. Yes, and this is the part that I skipped again. I have covered the board with a wrapper. You can easily find everything online or in the hardware stores. I did that behind the camera. So I covered it with a wrapper, or what else would you call it? Yeah, it's just a wrapper. Uh, no, it's not a wallpaper. This is just a wrapper. So yes, and you can tell that it is really coming out. You could tell that it is really coming out. So yes, I'm happy with the progress so far. In case you're wondering why the console is kind of centered to the to the left, it is because if I push it too much to the other side, it will fall behind the sofa. Would have to like stretch their neck to see the console, to see the TV. So I needed to give the space to the right side of the console and make sure everything falls a bit towards outside. The owner as well planned to put some shelves on the left side. So the last video clip is from the owner showing how happy they are.